Alive.
Lawrence, do you have a political agenda? Tell us now.
No, I'm not interested in Nigerian politics.
You're really looking like a senator.
Okay, then Rotimi can make me a post so I can share my screen.
No, thank you for that compliment, but I'm not interested in Nigerian politics. It's depressing, especially at this time.
All right.
Very dangerous.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
So the meeting is about to start. How are you doing this morning?
Fine.
It is a cold morning in Lagos this morning. It has been drizzling here. My bed is even calling me to come and sleep, but we have to do what is necessary. So to get started, the meeting is about to start. We need to maintain the same protocol, turning off our mic so that we avoid any distractions from our background. And I would like to also crave our indulgence to put on our camera so that it will give the speaker a sense of people are following me when I'm speaking. To start with, we would like to take the Toastmaster promise. I'm sharing my screen soon. Let me know if you can see my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. We will take the Toastmaster promise in the count of 1, 2. 1, 2. As a member of Toastmaster International and my club, I promise to attend club meetings regularly, to prepare for all my projects to the best of my ability, basing them on the Toastmaster education program, to prepare for and fulfill meetings assignments, to provide fellow members with helpful constructive evaluations, to help the club maintain the positive friendly environment necessary for all members to learn and grow. To serve
my club as an officer when called upon to do so.
To treat
my fellow club members and our guests with respect and courtesy. To bring guests to club meetings
so they can
see the benefits
of membership of us.
So adhere to the guidelines and rules of all Toastmasters educational and recognition program. So as within
Toastmasters
core values of integrity, respect, service, and excellence during the conduct of all Toastmaster activities. Thank you very much. Without further ado, I would like to call on the president to give us the feature speech. Ideally, the president is supposed to give us the feature speech, but however, to be taken by Team Join Shaiyen. Team Join Shaiyen is known for our role in taking challenges in when it comes to table topics. I tend to always look forward to our speech most of the time. Okay. Team Join Shaiyen is a business analyst. She loves reading and traveling. With a resounding round of applause, let's welcome Team Join Shaiyen to the virtual lesson.
Good morning, Toastmasters and guests. For all of you that have been looking forward to my table topic, so you could just take this as a neo table topic, but good morning. I am absolutely delighted to welcome you to this meeting this morning. It has been raining and I struggled with the thought of getting up this morning, but I remember the theme for the meeting, which is keep walking. And I'm gonna ask this question. How many of you thought about Johnny Walker when you saw that theme? Yes, I have 3 people. Yes, and from Barack Obama to Martin Luther King Jr. to Thomas Jefferson, all of these renowned people have put out one wise saying or the other about walking. And I took a second to think about it myself. Why is walking so important? What does it do for us? And when we're not walking, what are the consequences? In answering that question, I stumbled on the words of former President of the United States, President Barack Obama. He says, and I quote, "If you are walking on the right path and you are willing to keep walking, eventually you would make progress." Take note, he didn't say you would arrive at your destination. He said you would make progress. I have distilled these words of Barack Obama into 3 different parts that I would like to share this morning. The first part is walking. And that is the part that in elementary physics, the energy you get by virtue of walking is called kinetic energy. And the energy you get by virtue of just sitting still and not moving is called potential energy. It means that when you, as a human being, every human being has the potential to become better, to become greater, to become more successful. But for you to move from potential to kinetic, you need to move. And what am I trying to say here? Send that email. You need to understand that walking is not just a physical action. There is a mental, there is an intellectual part to walking that we must all embrace. So I say again, send that email, send that application, write that apology, write that business plan, put your idea into words. But for what all intents and purposes, you have to walk. The second part, which is the most difficult part, the part where you find a lot of excuses, you find a lot of obstacles, you find a lot of challenges. You hear people say, "Oh, I've sent so many emails, they haven't responded." I would say, send another email. Or the part where you have written so many applications, no one wants to employ me. I would say, create a product and offer it to the world as a solution. The most important part of keeping on walking, which is the theme of our meeting today, is you have to move in spite of challenges. You have to move in spite of adversity. Think about the work that a plant has to do. When you plant a seed, the kind of work it has to do to push through the ground before it even becomes a tree. So think about that plant and challenge yourself. And then we get to the last part, which is progress. Progress is a sweet part, the most rewarding part, the part where the butterfly, the pupa has now become the butterfly. But more importantly, it tells you that the journey through life is never ending. Think about the automobiles that we see today. For example, your Honda Accord. Imagine what the Honda Accord looked like in 2005, what Nigerians used to call the Honda Ala in those days. Now think about the Honda Accord of 2020. I'm sure the Honda Accord of 2005 does not want to be in the showroom, in the same showroom as the Honda Accord that is being produced today. But what is the key thing here? It's the same name, it's the same manufacturer. Nothing has changed. What has changed is that every year, the manufacturers of that car place necessity on themselves to make it better, whether it's the operation of the car or the lights or the aesthetics or the leather or the functionality. It's the same car in principle, but there are new features. And we must lay that necessity on ourselves. No matter how long you think you've been doing the same thing, there's a better way to do it. We must improve on the things that we do, as well as the way that we do these things. And I will leave you with the words of Rumi, who says, and I quote, that there is a journey that we must all travel. Others may walk that journey with you, but no one would walk it for you. So I say to you again, you have to start walking. You have to keep walking. You have to achieve progress. and then repeat that cycle. So thank you and welcome to the meeting today.
Thank you, Toastmaster.
Thank you very much.
Joy. All right, to take the meeting further, I'd like to invite the Toastmaster of the day in the person of TM Muslimat. Just a moment, please. Okay. So I want to read out the profile of Toastmaster Muslimat. Toastmaster Muslimat Akinola is a seasoned banker with over 15 years experience. She joined Toastmaster Club in the year 2020 and has won several topic speeches. She enjoys listening to juju music, cooking, and she's very adventurous with food. Without further ado, I would like to hand over the virtual lesson to Toastmaster Muslimat. Over to you, Toastmaster Muslimat.
Thank you very much for that wonderful introduction, TM Bemi. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters, and of course, our esteemed guests. Let me open up. I'm actually playing the role of the Toastmaster of the day for the very first time. But I'm sure with each and everyone's support, I will make the best of this role. The Toastmaster of the day, I am saddled with the responsibility of ensuring that our meeting works in accordance with the apportioned time. I'm to coordinate the activities. But most importantly, our meeting could be likened to a dinner menu, wherein we have the appetizer, the main course, and the dessert. We have 3 segments for the benefit of our guests in-house. The first is picks by, and of course, lastly, you have the evaluation segment, wherein you see renowned Toastmasters giving constructive feedback as regards delivered speeches. I am not doing this, I'm partnering with some people, but I equally have a seasoned lawyer, 2018. He has won several topic speeches. And of course, he loves reading and sporting. So you join me in welcoming to the virtual lesson, TM Lawrence Nolly, the lecturers.
Thank you very much, TM Muslimat, for that introduction. Fellow guests, fellow Toastmasters and guests, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Good morning.
Go on. Thank you.
Yes, we can.
Thank you very much. As earlier mentioned by TM Muslimat, my role today is that of the general evaluator, which specifically means that it's my job to note and evaluate what we are supposed to do, what we did and what we did well, and what we also did not do well in the course of this meeting. I'm not going to play that role alone. I have 4 people who will be playing the role together with me, 4 distinguished Toastmasters who will be playing the role together with me. I'm going to start by calling the first but not the least person in my team. The person is going to play the role of the grammarian. Before I mention the person's name, I want to introduce the person. The person is a medical doctor, and I believe it is is a he. Yeah. His hobbies include writing, traveling, coaching, and mentoring children. Please, Toastmasters and guests, kindly join me to welcome TM Nimi Ekere to come to the virtual lantern to explain his role. I hope is a he. Over to you, TM Timi Ekere.
Thank you.
Oh God.
Is a she. Sorry. And I wonder why you just thought he was a male.
Sorry. I'm so sorry, TNT.
The name sounds feminine, and yeah, so I don't know why. Thank you very much, everyone. I'm glad to be here. It's my second time of being here, and I look forward to a great meeting today. So, should I introduce my role?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Yes, my name is Dr. Nimi Ekere. I'm not a man, I'm not male, I'm female, and I'm glad to be here, like I said. I'm going to be taking the role of a grammarian for today's meeting. Mr. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests, as grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening to their language usage. I'll take note of any improper language, as well as any outstanding words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. As grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word of the day. And the word of the day for today's meeting is reminiscent. It is an adjective, synonym, similar to, suggestive of. Example, how can it be used in a sentence? Your nervousness is reminiscent of my icebreaker's speech. Her laughter was reminiscent of her mother's laughter. It was reminiscent of some thriller he had read. So I will be evaluating, and each speaker is encouraged. I will be evaluating each speaker's performance. Each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the day, and I'll give the grammarian's report when called upon during the meeting, and also report on the usage of the word of the day. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you so much, TM. Yeah, thank you so much, TM Nimi Ekere. I also want to sincerely apologize for that error in referring you to as a he instead of a she. Please pardon me. Now, I'm going to introduce the second person in my team.
Have you finished? Yes. Is it almost?
Go to Mama, please. I'm so sorry for that interruption. You know, that's what happens when the meetings are held in virtually. And if you are staying at home, you can't miss such interruptions. Now I'm going to introduce the second person in my team who is going to play the role of the accountant. Now this person joined Toastmasters in April 2021. Wow, just last month. And he works as a product manager at Temapt. His hobbies includes reading, running, and music. His name is Tiem Damilare Ogunaike. Please, house, jam your hands together and help me to welcome Tiem Damilare Ogunaike to the virtual lecture. Over to you, Tiem Damilare Ogunaike.
Thank you very much, Tim Lawrence, and greetings, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. As Tim Lawrence mentioned, my name is Damilare, and I worked as a product manager at Teamout. Yeah, this is my first time I'm performing a role at Toastmasters, and I'm very excited about it. So I'll be playing the role of the hack counter. right? And the purpose of the hack counter is to note words and sounds that are used as a crutch or pause filler by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I'll listen for overused words, including and, well, but, so, and you know. I will also listen for filler sounds, including and I will also note when a speaker repeats a word or phrase, such as I, or this means, etc. At the end of the meeting, I'll report the number of times that each speaker used these expressions. Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster. Your mic is mute, Tim Lawrence.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you now.
Thank you so much, CM Damilare. You refer to me as Madam General Evaluator. That is a reminiscence of the earlier mistake I made when I was introducing TM naming. So I'm not the only person that is guilty of this malfeasance, if I may use that word. So I'm introducing the third person in my team who is going to play the role of the listening evaluator. This person is a planning engineer with mechanical engineering background. He enjoys listening to jokes, surfing the internet, and reading. Please, house, kindly join me to welcome TM Harrison Izion to the virtual lesson. Over to you, TM Harrison Izion.
Well, good morning, Mr. General Evaluator, my honorable and respected Toastmasters and honorable guests in the house. I am humbled to be part of you, and I'm TM Harrison Izion. And there's a wise saying that says, be a good listener and your ears will never get you into trouble. So my role for today as a listening evaluator is to test and check how the audience and every one of us listen to the different different species and the table topics. And at the end of the meeting, I will be able to assess to see our listening capability. And just to add to this is my first role and my first time to take a challenge and to give a shot. So I will say I'm a newbie. I want to thank the house and thank every Toastmaster. So I will say over to you, the General Evaluator. Thank you very much.
Thank you, TM Harris Nizio, for a well-explained role. And I got the quote you made: be a good listener and your ears will never get you into trouble. Thank you so much for that, TM Harris Nizio. I'm going to call up the last but not the least member of my team, who is going to play the role of a timekeeper. This person joined Toastmasters in 2021. That's great. And he's already playing a role. That's very great. And enjoys presentation, writing, acting, meeting new people, traveling, reading, and spoken words. Her name is TM Victoria Allwell. House, kindly join me to welcome TM Victoria Allwell to the virtual lectern. TM Victoria? Hello? Hello, can I be heard?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay,
Yes,
TM Victoria, are you there?
We can't hear you, Victoria.
Well.
Something is wrong with the sound on her end.
No, we can't.
We can't hear you, Victoria.
You want to check the settings on your computer?
Your microphone on your computer is probably what you should check.
Alternatively, you can join using your phone.
Yeah, but you can't share the
cards.
Yeah, okay, it's okay. With the permission of the Toastmaster, I would like to take over the role.
Please go ahead, TM Gimba.
TM Gimba Abubakar, kindly explain the role of the timekeeper.
Thank you so much. So basically, the timer just times the meeting. The Toastmasters meeting is a well-coordinated meeting where Toastmasters are hooked by time. You know, when you start speaking or when you learn to find your voice, you find that you have a lot you have to say. So Toastmasters now are forcing you to constrict your ideas in a limited time so that you make the most of it. You take out the unnecessary ones and you make sure that the important information you have to send out, you do it well. I'm going to do that today by just sharing cards. For instance, I know we have 3 sessions today. We have the table topics, we have the prepared speeches, and we have the evaluations. So for the table topics, you are supposed to speak for a minimum of 1 minute and a maximum of 2 minutes. So at the first minute, I'll share the green card like this. At 1 minute 30 seconds, I will share the yellow card. It just tells you that you have a limited time left. At the second minute, I'll share the red card. Once you see the red card, it means you have a grace of 30 seconds to conclude what you have to do. This rule goes for evaluation as well, which is for 2 to 3 minutes. So at the second minute, I'll share the green card. At 2 minutes, 30 seconds, I'll share the yellow card. Then at the third minute, I'll share the red card. Now for prepared speeches today, we have 2 of them. We have an icebreaker, which is 4 to 6 minutes, and we have a prepared speech, which is 5 to 7 minutes. So for the icebreaker, at the 4th minute, green card, at the 5th minute, yellow card, then at the 6th minute, you'll see the red card. For the other prepared speech of 5 to 7 minutes, at the 5th minute, you'll see the green card. At the 6th minute, you'll see the yellow card. Then at the 7th minute, you see the red card. But after that, you have a grace of 30 seconds. So if you speak for less than the minimum or more than the maximum of 30 seconds, you're going to be disqualified for voting. Then finally, I'll also time other events, for example, the Toastmasters rules, the Toastmasters introductions, the role players report, and a few other things, including break. So at the end, I'll be called upon to give my report of the timers. General Evaluator, back to you, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much, TM Abubakar. Now, I'm going to hand over the lectern to the Toastmaster of the day to continue with the meeting. Over to you, TN Muslimat.
Thank you very much, TM Lawrence. That was indeed a wonderful introduction.
It's too long to finish the food.
Now, recall that I said we have 3 segments: the table topic, the prepared speech, and of course, the evaluation. Now, we're to interesting part of the meeting, the evaluation. So, these joined Toastmasters in 2020. He is an IT audit consultant, and of course, he enjoys listening to music, especially Asha music. So join me in welcoming TM Gbemi Ayanshiji to the virtual lectern. TM Gbemi, you're welcome on board.
Apologies, my network. Okay. Have you introduced me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I just came in back. Sorry, apologies. Okay, I'll be anchoring the table topic session. So as the table topic master, my role is to coordinate the table topic session, and it involved me really learn some questions for people, for majorly guests and the members. This session is basically a way to prepare us for an impromptu speech. Imagine you in an elevator with it's Dangote, and you need to convince him on something on a project. So I would love for individuals to volunteer. Although I have some people I need to call. I have 8 questions, and we are going to be picking a number from 1 to 8. So I want volunteers. I'll be checking the chat section to see if there are volunteers already. Okay.
You already have volunteers.
Okay. Thank you a lot. Thank you. Okay. To start with, Tientai. Can you?
Hello.
Okay, good. Okay, I have a question 1 to 8 for you, please. Choose a number.
Question 2.
Question. Okay, thank you. All right, the question goes thus. If we learn from our mistakes, why are we always so afraid to make mistakes? I'll go over it again.
Yeah, please. Yeah, please.
Okay. If we learn from our mistakes, why are we always so afraid to make mistakes?
Thank you so much for that question. And I would say that is a question that every one of us as individuals have to answer. What are mistakes in essence? They are things that we do, failure basically, things we try and things we do not succeed at. Nobody, what comes at the end of that is usually shame, things like rejection. So for example, if I want to go for a master's and I apply and fail to go across, right? What happens at the end of the day? If a lot of people knew about it, that shame, maybe I'm not good enough, right? But like Thomas Edison once said, when you fail, you found out another way that doesn't work. It's just an opportunity, right, to try something else. But to answer your question, why don't we, if we understand that mistakes mean growth, right, why don't we do that more? It's essentially because we as people and as humans love our comfort zone. It's easy to stay in there. It's easy to while away in our fears and in our failures, right? It's easy to make yourself a victim. It's simply easier than standing up again to fight another day, right? That's what takes will. That's what takes strength. And because of that, right, we find ourselves staying back and not fulfilling our potential, right? Staying with our mistakes and not trying to make more mistakes. But what I'll charge everyone that is listening to this is that mistakes, right, are the path to success, right? We learn and we move, right? We fall, just like anybody. Everybody that succeeded has fallen, right? And we have that potential, right, to succeed at the end of the day. Thank you, the table topic master.
Thank you. I pick out something from what you said, that we should try and work and make that mistake really, because in my own and relating to my own situation, sometimes I feel I don't want to be rejected, or I want to do something perfect, so I tend to not take that challenge sometimes. But the bottom line is that you always can take the challenge. Okay. Next on the agenda on the chat session is Tien Chisom. Tien Chisom, can you please come on board? We have question 1 to 8, excluding question 2, which have been taken by Tien Tai.
Take question 3.
Okay, question 3. Okay. Is it more important to do what we love or love what you are doing? Should I go over it again?
Yes, please.
Okay. Is it more important to do what you love or love what you are doing?
Okay. Thank you very much. Tiamadimi says it's a very easy question. I think that this question is reminiscent of the time in our lives when we're trying to make decisions. You know, a lot of us probably had that experience of trying to figure out if what are you going to study when you get to the university? What do you want to be when you grow up, right? I mean, many of us wanted to be pilots, some wanted to be models, some wanted to be taxi drivers. Like me, I just fancied taxi drivers for no reason. But then you get older, you realize you have to make money and parent. And so you now have to, you know, evolve your dreams more or less. So I think that in the box of reality, it is more important for you to love what you do. And I think that the beauty of going with this first is that eventually loving what you do will help you to eventually do what you love. So if, for example, you like to charity, you love to do charity, you love to take care of people, see people that are in need and help them, right? If you are just a school leaver, the likelihood is that you are a charity case. You need charity. It's not likely that you're able to offer people charity at that point. So you probably need to get a job. And the only way you do well at that job and make good money and grow at that job is if you find a way to love what you're doing at that job. So you love what you're doing at that job, do the job well, and then probably grow in career in a couple of years down the line, be able to make enough money to now do charity. So by loving what you do, you've been able to help yourself to do what you love. And based on that, I would say that it is more important for you to do the latter versus the former. Of course, in real life, no one equation solves everything. So I know it would change once in a while, but generally I would say that this is how I would go. It's how I generally operate for myself. Thank you.
Thank you, Chiso. In time past, I've changed my notion really as regard doing what I love, because most time I'll be like, what if what I love is not fetching me much money really?
My brother.
So I tend to just tell people, no, let's just make this money. All right, now thank you very much once again. Sam Joy, are we supposed to take it again? You've given us the just speech.
Toastmaster Demi, please make me host.
Okay. Am I the host?
Yeah.
Oh, apologies, I'm coming. Okay, Sam Joy. Just a moment, let me make it Sam Gimba the host. All right, done. Sam Joy, you have question 1 to 8, excluding 2 and 3.
Can I have question 8?
It's okay. Okay, this is quite simple actually. How would you describe your future in 3 words?
How would I describe my future in 3 words? I would just tell you a story, and I hope from that story you can imagine the future that I have built in my head. So the future is the story of a young girl who used to be extremely timid. She couldn't speak up in front of people. At some point, she went for an interview and she was asked the question, tell me about yourself. And she sat there, dumbstruck, not even able to utter one word. Fast forward 3 years, this same young girl joined Toastmasters. And the very first time she was supposed to give an icebreaker speech, she couldn't even read that speech from her head. She had to hold a paper and her hands were shaking throughout the entire speech. The amount of sweat that her glands produced that day could have filled up the River Niger. But she kept walking, she persisted. And 5 years into the future, she's representing Nigeria at the United Nations, representing the cause for gender equality, representing the cause for environmental responsibility, and being the poster girl for you can achieve anything if you put your mind to it. So back to the question you asked me. If I were to paint my future and I had only 3 words to choose from, I would say courageous, confident, and consistent. You could call it the 3 C's, but those are the words that I would use to describe my future. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim Joy. From the last point, to me, really, consistency is kind of hard. Because really, to get to a sport is quite easy, but to maintain that position for a long time is always hard, because you take consistency, because people are always looking at, okay, I want to meet at this, I want to get to the point at this point. So consistency take a lot, and sometimes it take a lot of decision and courage to remain consistent. Okay, so to go forward, I would love to call just one more. Sorry, I know our time is fast spent. I'd like to call one of our guests. We've had a lot of members speaking. I know I noted few okay, Tim. Okay, no, intending Tim Achi. Are you still online? Tim Gimba, can you help me confirm if she's online, please?
I don't think she is.
Okay.
James. A guest.
Oh, we have a gem here, and their name is James.
Okay, what about IVIE?
Yes, I'm here. Good morning.
Good morning. Okay. Can we have you take one of the table topic questions?
Okay, I'll go for 7 because 7 is for perfection.
All right. Thank you for taking all that. Okay. All right. Are you worried about doing things right or doing the right things?
Okay, thank you so much for that question. I think because I'm a perfectionist, I like to do things right. So I think it's more of doing things right for me, and in that way, it also equates to, am I doing the right thing? Because if you ask yourself, am I doing this right? Like I have 3 kids, I wake up, I wonder, am I raising them right? And then it now boils down to, how am I raising them? What methods, what practices am I imbibing in them? Are those things right? So for example, my son, he's very playful, very energetic, intelligent, but he has this, I don't want to call it an issue, but because he's a child, so it's very difficult for him to focus. And I tend to use the hard stick as opposed to, so my husband will say, oh no, do it from a place of love. And I'll say, okay, I'll do it from a place of love, but later in future, they will say, did mother not train him? So when I'm thinking of how do I go about this with this boy, so I'm thinking, what methods do I employ? And when I'm employing those methods, I'm asking myself, am I doing the right thing? And at the same time, am I doing things right? So it goes hand in hand for me. If you ask yourself, are you doing things right? The way you employ the methods to do those things will now lead to you asking, am I doing the right thing? Thank you very much.
Jimmy, you're muted.
Are you there?
Thank you very much. I don't know, I was muted. Thank you very much. And once again, intending Tim Ivy, I would like to hand over the virtual lesson to the Toastmaster of the day. Thank you very much.
Very much, everyone. And let me say kudos to the courageous ones that volunteered and participated. We learned 1 or 2 things. It's always good to be able to quickly put your thoughts together and respond to impromptu questions. you really do not know where you find yourself in future. Well done again to everyone. So can we, your vote counts as guests. So for guests in the house, we'll appreciate. You've heard the speakers. Now we have TM Taye Oloriade, our speaker, followed by TM Chisholm Ojuku, TM Joy Shaiyen, and of course, TM Eham Mo. Kindly cast your vote in another 1 minute.
Gimba.
Sir?
Please, I can't share the screen because I'm not the host.
Before we
okay.
Oh, I've made you post, but I've shared the polls. The polls are up.
You're muted.
Okay. The polls have ended.
Okay, thank you so much. Before we have the outcome of the vote, I think it's important that we take feedback. There is a saying that constructive feedback really helps. And of course, having heard all our table topics speakers, it is important that we have someone evaluate them. So to do this, we have TM Natasha. I intend reading the profile of TM Natasha. TM Natasha Ibori is a sustainable business practitioner with a passion for clean energy, design thinking, zero waste movement, and cultural practices. She likes anything with the prefix alternative. She hopes to become a strong community builder and make people do good. I truly share in your vision, TM Natasha. The floor is yours. Let's have the table topic evaluation. Thank you.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Thank you so much for having me. This is probably my first time at one of your meetings, so I'm really, really honored and delighted by the amazing level that I've witnessed just from the table topics. So first of all, congratulations to everybody that participated in the table topic session. It definitely has not been easy. And so I'm going to go through all of the speeches and just give some feedback to help everyone improve, hopefully. So we started with TM Taye, and his question was, if we learn from our mistakes, why are we so afraid to make mistakes? And he came in with some very valid points that I hadn't even necessarily considered. But the first point that I will make is when you are giving a speech, it is nice to be able to see your mouth. I know that I think you were holding up your microphone, but it was kind of covering your mouth and it made it a little bit difficult to completely follow on with what you're saying. But then as you continued with your speech, I think that you were trying to come up with some really solid points. And being the first one, I can understand that it is a little bit difficult, but I would just maybe propose that you take a second to potentially just think about what you're going to say before delivering the sentence, because I felt like it was a little bit rushed. And it's good to kind of just feel like you are comfortable up on the stage or the virtual lectern. You did deliver a really solid quote by Thomas Edison. And I feel like if you perhaps paused right before giving that quote by saying, Thomas Edison once said, and then delivering the quote, it would have kind of stuck in our minds a little bit more. And with it being a virtual setting, it's difficult to see any kind of hand movements or your body posture, but I could tell that you would have, if you're sitting, if we're in a live setting, you would have been a lot more kind of open with your body posture and your hand gestures. So even though it is virtual, perhaps that's something that you could try and incorporate. And I really admired how you just took up the challenge and you spoke so confidently. And the only thing I would say is, you kind of repeated the word right at the end of your sentences. So perhaps just taking that out would help you sound even more confident. So all in all, it was a great table topics, and thank you so much for delivering your speech so poignantly. So the next person I'm going to evaluate is T.M. Chisholm. T.M. Chisholm's question was, is it more important to do what we love, or love what we're doing? So this is kind of one of those tricky ones, but you definitely were able to navigate the different sides of this question by sharing your opinion right at the very end. So it's kind of keeping us waiting, like, oh, which side is he going to agree with? But you came out with it in the end. You used the word of the day right at the very start. So I could tell straight off that you knew what you're doing. You're not new to table topics. You delivered your speech with a smile on your face, which kind of made us warm to you and made us comfortable. And even sharing a little bit about yourself by saying that you wanted to be a taxi driver, which is kind of surprising to me because I haven't really heard anyone say that that's what they wanted to do. So that kind of added a bit of humor into your speech and made it memorable. And also, I would say that perhaps structuring your speech a little bit better, even though it is a table topics, just perhaps by stating more kind of evidence for your actual point, because even though like it was nice to have your conclusion finally stating what your opinion was, it was a little bit like, I'm not sure if this point backs up what he's saying or it doesn't. So perhaps just kind of an introduction into what you're about to tell us and then telling us. So I know some people say that, tell us what you're going to tell us, and then tell us again. So something like that might have been helpful. But all in all, definitely enjoyed listening to you speak this morning. And then I'm now going to evaluate T.M. Joy. Your question was, how would you describe your future in 3 words? Which I thought is a whopper of a question, and you handled it really, really well. I love that you were able to give a really nice kind of story to kind of frame up your point. I was even so struck and so engaged in listening to you, I forgot to write enough notes for your table topic, but I definitely said that your vocal variety was kind of on point. And even the way that you used your vocabulary, you said the sweat from your palms could have filled up the River Niger. That was really great use of imagery, and that's something that's going to stick in our minds as we're listening to the other speeches. Then I would definitely say your speech was, as you described your future, courageous, it was confident, and it was definitely consistent all the way throughout. I'd say at this, the only kind of suggestion I would give is at the start, I could tell that you're kind of still thinking through what you're going to say. So instead of perhaps stammering at the start, if you just take a 1 millisecond to just be like, what am I going to say? And then deliver it, that might have made you sound a little bit more confident. But all in all, I can't even really think of any other kind of critiques or suggestions to give you. That was really, really good. And then lastly, I will comment on T.M. Ivy. Is that how you pronounce your name?
It's EVA, but you can call me
EVA.
Ivy. It's fine.
EVA, sorry.
Yes, EVA. Yes.
Okay, that was also really, really interesting to listen to. Your question was, are you worried about doing things right or doing the right thing? This is another one that I was kind of like, is this going to be a challenge to answer? It's a bit of a tricky question. And then you started your points by saying, I think, and I have noticed that with other people's speeches or with speeches in general, if you just state what your opinion is and kind of try and convince us instead of just stating that like, oh, this is what I do, I don't know about you guys, it would make you sound more confident and more like you are trying to persuade us. The story you told was also really useful. I think always, telling a personal story is always really, really great. For some reason, I was somewhat struggling to follow the story and see how it related to your point. And also, being aware of your audience is also really, really useful. So people, I'm sure there are other people here that have children and can understand the kind of the difficulties of how it must be to be a mother and trying to, teach your children things, and you're constantly worried there's no manual, so you don't know how it's going to go. So I think that was definitely, it showed awareness of who you're speaking to and how other people can relate with you in that way. And so I would say it definitely seemed like this is not your first time giving a table topic, and you knew what you're doing. Just the conclusion, I think perhaps could have been slightly longer. So that's the only kind of feedback I'd give, but you sounded very, very comfortable up there. So good job, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, TM Natasha. That was indeed well delivered, a good evaluation, I must confess. Detailed and of course, straight to the point. Thank you once again. Reminiscing on all you've said, even though I didn't speak, I could put them into good use for future. Thank you once again. So now we've done well. It's time to take a break. We're going to have a breakout session where we're meant to network. And we're doing that quickly. We'll be shared into different rooms randomly. I implore each and every one to please network well, because at the end of the session, we're going to ask 1 or 2 questions: who you met, what was said, and some other things. So please reach out and take advantage of the opportunity. Thank you all.
Please, I just want to note that we have 10 minutes break, so you can just relax, have a conversation, and your time starts now. Kindly join the breakout rooms, please. EVA. Chineze, good morning. Professor Chineze.
Hello, Abubakar. I logged in with another device, so just leave me here.
Oh, you don't want to join any? Okay. Okay, you are there.
I'm already
you are
in
here.
another room.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. No problem. Hello, Victoria. Hello, Victoria, are you there? Hello, Victoria, can you hear me? Okay, Okoye.
TM Abuafa.
Hi, TM Joy.
Any good?
I saw him. He was the Lone Ranger in the meeting. He was.
I went in and I saw how people were having fun, so we added an extra minute for people to just run.
I see.
And just Mr. Joy, that's table topics. Wow, it's like you keep increasing the bar higher and higher and higher. I hope
the theme of today's meeting is keep walking. Keep walking.
Yeah.
True.
Please, Johnny Walker.
Come back, everybody.
So when I saw that you volunteered, I said, why did I set myself up? And then why did I set myself up with this?
My own was, I was just wondering, am I going to talk before or after Joy? Because I know it's a matter of when, is it before or after? You want to see it, I'm going to speak before you, because that speech you gave would have just killed my morale.
That's right.
Thank you very much.
Toastmaster Muslim.
Yeah.
Over to you.
Thank you so much. I had a swell time. The people that came up with this initiative of baking room was well, we need to have more of such. So let's go. TM Chisholm, who did you meet?
It's like you, thank God, my God is alive. I met somebody, people, and I remember, I met Emmanuel Ojewumi. I also met Bemi.
And what does Emmanuel do?
Emmanuel is a box of things. He's a graphics designer, he's an IT consultant, he's a quantity surveyor, he does just anything that will bring money in. but he studied quantity surveying and he did a second degree in construction. But basically, he just, he likes to love what he's doing so that he can do what he loves eventually, which is lecturing.
Well done.
Yeah.
Are you in the house? We've not heard from you today. Who did you meet, please?
I am here.
Yes, my madam.
I met TM Joy Shaiyen and TM Taye Oloriade.
I've called you. The other TM into. Of course, I know you're used to TM Joy.
Yeah.
Did you hear the question?
Did you ask me a question?
Yes,
no, what did you say?
The second TM you met, what was the person into?
He's an all-round great guy.
Okay, good one.
His name is TM Taye. His name is Toastmaster Taye Oloriade. Okay, I think he gave one of the table topics, and
yes, please.
Like I said, he's an all-round great fellow.
TM Chinez, everything you said there, we know it.
Calm down.
Okay.
Calm down.
TM Chibuzo, are you the house? Aspiring TM Chibuzo. Aspiring TM Chibuzo. Can we quickly have you? We're running out of time. Man from Zenith. TM Chibuzo, aspiring TM Chibuzo, are you there?
He's here, just needs to unmute himself.
Oh, okay. We're running out of time.
Okay, yeah. Good afternoon, everyone.
Welcome on board.
Oh, thank you so much. I really enjoyed myself.
Who did you meet?
I met you. I met you.
Okay, aside me, who else did you meet?
In fact, you just got me on that one. I was about to search for that name around to get. It just escaped me totally right now. But I met you. I can't talk about you now. Give me that leeway, please.
No, we talked at length, so I would have loved you talked about the other
IT guy. The IT guy.
Good. That's you met TM Rotimi, and that happens to be
great,
our president, Lighthouse Toastmaster. Okay, so very nice one. I had a swell time. Thank you very much, TM Chibuzo.
Yeah.
It was nice meeting you. Yes.
Same here. Thank you.
We've come to the end of this segment. I think now we have to move to the next segment. Recall when we started that I said we have 3 segments: the table topic, the prepared speech, and of course, evaluation. Now we have to go to the main one, which is the prepared speech segment. For the prepared speeches, I have 2 speakers. The first person will be taking presentation mastery.
Sorry to interrupt you, Toastmaster Muslim. Could you be more audible?
Okay. Is it better?
Yeah, much better. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so I said we're on to the second segment of the meeting, and that's the prepared speech segment. And we have 2 speakers for today. The first speaker will be presenting from Manual Presentation Mastery, Level 1, Project 1, the icebreaker. And to have his profile, he is an IT professional that joined Toastmasters in 2017. He loves traveling, adventure, and extreme sports. He is the current president of Lighthouse Toastmasters Club. Join me in welcoming to the virtual lectern TM Rotimi Omotayo Benson.
Again,
Yeah,
apologies.
Benson,
apologies for the
icebreaker.
interruption.
Okay.
You should mention.
Oh, okay.
The evaluator.
I need. Good.
So mention the
I
evaluator,
got
but
that.
don't introduce him. The GE will do that.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. So to introduce,
I met you.
Because I said I'm taking this for the first time, I appreciate each and everyone's contribution. And so let's have the general evaluator. Thank you. Hello.
It's supposed to be the myself a day.
Yeah, no, okay, let me just make it clearer. So you, Toastmaster Muslim, you call the evaluator to tell us the objective.
Yeah.
But after, during the evaluation segment, Lawrence will introduce the evaluator properly. But for now, we just need to know who the evaluator is and the objective.
Okay. Thank you very much, TM Gimba. That's noted. So to evaluate TM Rotimi Motaro Benson, I have TM Chineze Amanfo. TM Chineze is to read out the objective of TM Rotimi's speech. And of course, TM Chimeze joined Toastmasters in 2015. She is the immediate past president of Lighthouse Prestige Toastmasters Club. And she is a PR consultant who loves baking and teaching. TM Chimeze, please let's have TM Rotimi's objective.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. What's going on?
We can hear you.
1 second. There's an echo.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Hello?
We're with you. You're audible. We can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. So this is actually a setup. No wonder TM Queen hid the person I was going to evaluate till the last minute. This is not this is a mature icebreaker. Anyway, TM Rotimi is going to be breaking the ice, and the purpose of this project is for him to introduce himself to us, so that we can and then of course to learn the basic structure of a public speech. The goal is at the end of the 4 to 6 minutes, we will know a bit more about TM Rotimi Omotayo Benson beyond what TM Muslimat has told us about him. He has 4 to 6 minutes. TM Rotimi, I've handed you over the hammer. Please shatter the ice.
What did you say?
Yeah, she has handed
TM Rotimi.
Okay.
The icebreaker.
Okay. No. I don't want a female house help in this house. I said I don't want a female house help. Please, the Toastmaster. That was my mother's reaction many years ago. The male house help we had gone home for December break, and it was January. There was no house help. The house help was nowhere to be found. And somebody suggested to her to get a female house help, and that was her reaction. By the way, I come from a family of 8. My parents and 6 children. Let me put it in context. I come from a family of 8. My parents and 6 boys. So you understand where my mother was coming from. You don't want to have a house whereby you have 6 boys and you have a female house help. Say no. Growing up as a child, they used to call my mother Mama of Boys. That means mother of boys. But now, if you call her Mama of Boys, you say, no, I am not Mama of Boys. I am mama and woman. I'm mama and woman because they're all grown up now. They're all married. I'm the fifth born out of 6 children. And I'm happily married to my beautiful wife. And we have 2 beautiful daughters that make me happy practically every day. That is basically who I am as a family person. Now, professionally, who am I? I'm an IT professional, specifically in the area of network security and cloud computing. And how did I stumble into IT? It was by chance. My father, being a lawyer, wanted me to be a lawyer too. So my first JAM, I put in law, no admission. Second JAM, put in law, no admission. I was fed up. So one day I was at home with my brother, and he said that he has noticed that I love to play with things that are technical. So I can pick up a radio and dismantle the radio. Just play. I got joy from that. And he suggested that he thinks I should go to the engineering or a computer science field. And with that idea in my mind, that I don't want to do law anymore. I want to be an engineer. I remember the expression on his face. He wasn't happy. But after a long talk, he agreed. And I like what he did. My father supported me. He got me a physics teacher. He got me a chemistry teacher to sit and teach me physics and chemistry. Bear in mind, this was after secondary school. So I sat for physics exam again, May-June. After that, I went to sit for JAM. After that, I got admission into university. And that is what set the foundation for my IT profession, today. Now, leaving IT profession, who am I? When you talk about the family, I've told you about my family. When it comes to profession, I've told you about my profession. But outside these 2 areas, who really am I? I am someone who loves to travel. I know I've been to about 10 different countries, spread over 4 different continents, and I have a bucket list. My bucket list is to visit all the continents in the world. I know we have 7 continents in the world. But obviously, I do expect to visit Antarctica. That's it. I don't think anybody stays there. So I have just 2 continents left in my bucket list. I need to visit South America, and I need to visit Australia. Aside that, anytime I visit any country, there's something I do. I'm a very, very adventurous person. I ensure I go on adventures. I ensure I find those adrenaline pumping sport activities. Those things that when you see, they make you scared. And that's why once when I traveled, I went to do skydiving. At another time when I traveled, I went to do parasailing. Another time I wanted to do bungee jumping. But because of safety concerns, I didn't do that. So I, as a person, I love to travel. I love adventure. I love extreme sports. So who really am I? I am a husband. I am a father. I'm an IT professional who loves to travel and do extreme sports. The Toastmaster. That's all.
Sorry, apology. I was finding it difficult to unmute myself. Thank you very much, TM Rotimi. And of course, we got quite a number of information from your speech. Now I know that you're the 5th in a family of 6. And of course, mom is called Mama Boys. Very nice one. Thank you so much, TM Rotimi. And of course, for the second speaker for our prepared speech for today, we have TM Babatunde Adegbinde. TM Babatunde Adegbinde. Just a minute, please. is having an, is, okay, we'll be taking manual from Engaging Honor, Level 1, Project 3. And for his profile, TM Babatunde Adegbindin is the immediate past president of Eagle Toastmasters Club, which happens to be the premier Toastmaster in Nigeria. He is the charter president of Victoria Bay Toastmasters Club and Triple Crown winner 2018 to 2019, 2019 to 2020 Toastmasters years. He is a lover of Liverpool Football Club, and his favorite quote is, "You cannot know thyself if you don't know thyself," by Socrates. So to evaluate TM Babatunde Adegbindin, I have TM Emmanuel Ojewumi, who also joined Toastmaster. Okay, TM Emmanuel Ojewumi, please could you kindly give TM Babatunde Adegbindin's speech objective?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, the Toastmaster of the day. Good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests. I'm so excited to be back again at Lighthouse Toastmasters. This afternoon, I have the honor and privilege to evaluate an experienced speaker and Toastmaster who will be doing a speech from the Pathways Education Program, the Engaging Humor Path. Now, this is the last project in Level 1, which means he's going to be presenting a speech in a team titled Research and Presenting. Toastmaster Babatunde is expected to present a speech that reviews basic research methods, and the speech should be well organized, well researched on any topic of its kind. For a speech titled The Body Language, please help me welcome the speaker or the Toastmaster who will introduce the speaker.
Thank you very much. So, TM Babatunde Adegbindin, the body language. Let's have you. Thank you.
My head, my shoulder, my knee, my toes, my head, my shoulder, my knee, my... Don't let me complete the song because I know you already know it. Please, can I see by a show of hands how many of you know that song or ever sang it before? Oh, fantastic. Great. Marvelous. I would like to share my screen if you give me the permission. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Toastmaster Babatunde Abdelgeni Adegbindin. Host, kindly permit me to share my screen. Today, I'll be talking to you about a topic that is reminiscent for every Toastmaster in their delivery, be it icebreaker or an experienced speech. Body language, body language. So please tell me what I'm doing.
We are using body language. You are frowning. You're doing like a babe. Yeah, shall I with somebody?
Thank you very much. I would like to share my screen again, the host. Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much. Today, I want to talk to you about body language. Please join me as I move on this journey. Deborah Bull, a British author, said, body language is very powerful. We had language before we had speech, and body language makes 80% of the things that we communicate. For example, I see my friend and I do, or I see Toastmaster Chisom speaking and I go, or I see Toastmaster Muslimat speaking and I say, I have conveyed something without opening my mouth. However, how does this speak? Today, we are going to look at body language, why body language, categories of body language, gestures, then practice, and practice. So, can someone smile to me, please? Just a smile. Toastmaster Muslima, smile. Oh, Chisom. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Smile. Can you tell me in what language you smile? What language was that your smile? Toastmaster Chisom, what language was that smile?
Acceptance.
Okay, the language of acceptance.
The language.
Aha, you don't know the name of the language, meaning that a smile doesn't have a language. But a smile is part of your body. And once you give it, automatically, the recipient will return it. Because do not forget that communication is when the person who intends to give a message codes a message, transmits it, the receiver decodes it, and try to interpret it in the way it has been intended. However, if the translation or interpretation is not same with what the sender intended, then there's no communication. So that's when you say body language. If I don't speak, can I communicate to you? Can you understand what I'm saying? If you look at this, the body language is also known as what you call kinesics. Kinesics. I don't know if there's any grammar person here that can correct that pronunciation, but for a lack of correct pronunciation, kinesics. Somebody say kinesics.
Kinesics.
For a while, I thought the people I was speaking to have gone home, but I'm glad to know you are still here. Kinesics. Look at this man in this slide. Can you tell me what he's doing? Yes, who can tell me what that man is doing?
Looks bored.
Looks bored. Looks bored, like
he's thinking about life.
He's thinking about life. That, oh boy, when will I go to Canada? God, when? You know. But hey, if you are speaking, you must intentionally use body language. Body language has three major uses. One, a conscious replacement, meaning that you intentionally use it to replace spoken word, meaning you are not speaking, but you are using body language to communicate. Two, to reinforce a speech or an action. Then three, it can be a betrayer or a mirror of your mood. Let's go ahead. There are three major categories of body language. Research has shown that there are three major categories of body language. One, facial expression. Facial expression or gestures. 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 Or so allow me to share my screen, sir.
Oh, continue sharing to us, Master.
Oh, whole body movement. That is when you move your whole body. Can you still see my screen, please?
Not at all, but you can move on.
Yes.
Because of time. Just continue.
Yeah. Kindly reshare.
Okay. All right. So our body movement, that is using your whole body movement. Can you see it now?
Yes, we can.
Great. Now, having known this, according to Forbes research, October 25, 2012, it says there is always a message behind a speaker's face. Whether you are a new speaker, you are an experienced speaker, even if you watch Barack Obama, when he speaks, he gesticulates, he talks, he uses his body, he uses his hands, so that you can understand perfectly what he is saying. There are 6 different parts of facial expression. One, it can show anger. It can show disgust. It can show fear or happiness or sadness or surprise. That is what Forbes said in their research. For gestures, gestures either support or reduces. There are 3 types of gestures. Conventional, descriptive. When I say something is, what do you think this is? Something is, you know, just Mr. Chisom, what do you think is, when I say something is this, what do you think I'm talking about?
Big, it's massive.
Big. Or if I say something is, you know, it's just, the reason is just
tiny.
Fantastic. Descriptive. Or emotional, and I go, just Mr. Gimba, what you did to me. It's just that posterity, which, what am I trying to pass across? that Toastmaster Gimba made me happy? Yes?
No, he has done you very
I'm
bad.
showing that it wrecked me emotionally. And because it shows red, let me mention to you in conclusion that when a speaker stands, his body position, the shoulder position, his head looking looking straight, looking sharp, looking direct at the audience. Toastmaster Chisom understands this, because when you say audience engagement in the industry of comparing, you have to involve the audience, ensure they see you, you see them, eye movement. But because of time, my eye will only say, thank you, the Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, TM Babatunde Adegbide. We reckon with you and we reminiscent. All you said, we intend making good use of the major body languages, which are the facial, gesture, and of course, the whole body movement. Thank you once again. It's now time for voting. We've heard the first speaker. We've equally heard the second speaker. Could we kindly have the poll so that people in the house could vote? We've heard the first speaker in person of TM Rotimi Omotayo Benson, who had his icebreaker on Highway Pathway 1 project, level 1, project 1. And of course, TM Babatunde Adegbide on the body language. So let's vote quickly. How is the poll looking, TM Gimba? Can we move on?
It's up. No, let's give it a few seconds more.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, it's on. The polls are done.
Okay, thank you very much. So now we've come to the evaluation stage. You remember, the best way to know if you're actually doing well or not is by the time you have feedback to know what you're meant to work on. We've heard TM Omotayo Benson, likewise TM Babatunde Adegbide. Now is for us to hear the evaluation. So could we kindly have TM Chineze Amanfo to evaluate TM Rotimi Omotayo Benson? TM Chimeze, as earlier explained, joined Toastmasters in 2015, and she is the immediate past president of Lighthouse Prestige Toastmasters Club, a PR consultant who loves baking and teaching. TM Chinere, please let's have TM Omotayo Benson's evaluation. Thank you. Is TM Chineze in the house?
I think you should hand over to the general evaluator.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so that he handles that.
No, am I going to evaluate?
I apologize, Lawrence. Please go ahead.
Oh, okay, thank you, TM Muslimot. And thank you for all the speakers. You have just done a very good job. Now, I'm going to call on the evaluators of the prepared speeches to come up and evaluate the speakers. I'm going to start with, since TM Chineze is not immediately available, I'm going to call on TM Emmanuel Ojewumi to give us his evaluation of TM Babatunde Adebimbi's speech. Over to you, TM Emmanuel Ojewumi.
Thank you very much, the Toastmaster of the day, for that, the general evaluator, for that audacious introduction. I would like to...
Yes, please go ahead.
So I would like to especially thank TM Babatunde for that interesting speech. Please, can we give a round of applause for that amazing speech by TM Babatunde? Thank you very much. The body language. I could liken the speech to a new book you're about to uncover. And from the first page, you know that this is going to be a very good book. And that is what TM Babatunde's speech is. He was supposed to speak and enlighten us on basic research methods using basic research tools. And that was exactly what he did. From the opening, he started with questions, making the audience engagement fantastic. Another thing he did that was really, really fantastic and was commendable is the fact that he used practical examples which we can easily relate with. So when he was talking about different styles of body language, he was able to point out Barack Obama and some other people who use body language, and we can easily relate to those people as they use their body languages for those things. And that was very, very amazing. I also like the fact that he was able to incorporate body language into the way he even spoke. One of the catchy things about his speech was the use of visuals, which means that we were able to follow his presentation all through when he was speaking. Thank you very much, TM Babatunde, for that amazing speech. Now, in Toastmasters, we believe that there is always room for improvement. Now, if you ask me, Emmanuel, what could I have done better? For a speech so great, I have thought that if the slides were less congested with words, a lot of people like me might have some problem following through the slides and the points. So if we have only 3 words or 3 action or 3 points on the slides, it's easier for us to follow through, right? That will have made the entire presentation fantastic. But overall, I will have said that that was pretty amazing and we learned a lot. Concise, full of practical examples, and of course, very educative. Thank you very much, TM Babatunde. Over to you, the general evaluator.
Thank you, TM Emmanuel, for that evaluation. I'm going to call on TM Chineze to come now and give us her evaluation of TM Benson Omotayo's speech. Kindly join me to welcome TM Chineze by jamming your hands, everybody. TM Chineze.
Please jam your hand. So Toastmaster of the day has said to jam your hand, jam your hand, jam your hand, jam your hand. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let me say congratulations to TM Rotimi Omotayo Benson for breaking the ice, even though I know that this is not his, this is a second or third ice breaking that he has done. Very well done, TM Rotimi. TM Rotimi started his speech in a very dramatic way. That's the kind of speech I like. He was very dramatic with his mother's expression of, the fact that she did not want a female house help. And then from there, he went on to tell us a lot about himself. We learned a lot about himself, about how he has 5 brothers, okay? He's an IT professional, and he took us through the journey of how he ended up being an IT professional. And while he was doing all of this, his vocal variety was top-notch. He knew when to give us the high pitch. He knew when to give us the soft pitch. His eye contact, there was eye contact. And then, I mean, all in all, we were able to realize that TM Rotimi through his stories, which he used very well because stories always sell. TM Rotimi is a father, he's a husband, he's an IT pro, he is an adventurous man who loves to travel, and he loves extreme sports. So he met the objectives of his speech, which is for us to know him more, to know him better at the end of his 4 to 6 minutes. What are the things he did well? His speech was clear, his eye contact was very good, his gestures, he used his hands very well. Were we aware when he was speaking? Yes, I was very captivated when he was speaking because he had a lot to tell us. He had a lot of stories to tell us. He even told us he had traveled to 10 countries. That's amazing. Okay. Everything he told us, yes, we were aware of everything he told us. What would I like TM Rotimi? Because like the last evaluator said, you have a great speech, but there's always room for improvement. I wasn't sure if, so what would I like TM Rotimi to do better? I wasn't sure if he was sitting down. Okay, now I see he's sitting down. So I had expected some kind of movement, okay, purposeful movement, but now I realize he's sitting down. I don't think there's any way he would have achieved that. All in all, it was a fantastic, well-delivered speech. TM Rotimi, don't stop. Don't be like us and stop at project 1. Please continue until you get to the peak. Okay, I look forward to your speech, your project 2. Okay, and then yeah, and, and I wish you all the best. I've used all the pot fillers here today. I hope your account will have mercy on me. Okay, well done, TM Rotimi.
Yes, thank you, TM Chineze, for that evaluation. Now it is time for us to vote for the best evaluator. So can we have the list? TM Abubakar, can you hear me, please?
Yes, the polls are up.
So please kindly vote for your best evaluator. At this junction, I'm going to hand over the virtual lecture to the Toastmaster of the day, or should it be the Toastmistress of the day, since the Toastmaster is a lady. You know, Toastmaster, you are addressing a lady. I think it should be Toastmistress of the day, or Toast Madam of the day. So over to you, the Toast Madam of the day, dear Muslims.
Thank you very much, PM Lawrence. Can we quickly have?
Yeah, the polls are done, but Toastmaster Lawrence is supposed to take control of the meeting to call the role players for the reports before handing over back to you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, TM Abubakar, for that reminder. Now I'm going to call on my team to give us specific evaluation reports of the speeches we had today. So I'm going to call, starting from the grammarian, TM Dr. Nimiakere. Kindly give us your evaluation report. Over to you, TM Dr. Nimiakere.
Thank you very much. It's been exciting. It was educative, informative, phenomenal. All the speakers were wonderful, and it took me back to years of my childhood when I would watch, and it just made me reminiscent of my childhood watching these speakers, and this is what I would like to be. I just told myself that this is where I want to be. Thank you all for the use of the word of the day. It had been scanty, if I have to be truthful. Just 2 people used the word, and TM Chisom and TM Babatunde. I must commend them for using the word of the day. And for the use of English, mistakes were minimal, very minimal. And I must say that I was impressed with the right pronunciation of lectern. You know, it could have been pronounced differently, but it was pronounced well. So it's commendable. Everyone pronounced the word well. Everyone that was supposed to use the word pronounced it well. And then recommendations, I would like to say that for subsequent meetings, the word of the day, I mean, it could be difficult to remember, but it should be used at least by everyone and appropriately too. We're encouraged to use the word of the day and just so that it will flow better. Thank you very much. And like I said earlier, I had a very nice time with you all. Thank you.
Thank you, TM Nimekere, for that report. Next on the list is the R counter. TM Damilare Bunaike, please, can we have your evaluation report on the accounting?
Thank you very much, Lawrence. It's been a fantastic meeting. I think being the hard counter makes me pay rapt attention to what everyone has been saying. I think I know what everyone talked about right from the beginning to the end. Had I given my report just before TM Nimi's review, the result would have been very, very different actually. But just after her review, I was still keeping track during our review, which made her, fortunately, to be the winner of this hard counter session, right? She used the home word about 16 times. It was followed by TM Taye, who gave the first table topic session. He talked about mistake. Why do we avoid them when mistakes are something like that? Anyway, so he used the word like 9 times. Right. Generally, everybody has done quite well. One thing I observed though is that the people who are very, very minimal in the use of first pillars are seasoned Toastmasters. I'm sure with time, everyone here who is still a corporate is going to learn. TM Taye's speech was reminiscent of my last week's table topic session as well. I was a winner. I used the word right so many times, but I think I'm getting over that right now. So in summary, the winner of this session is TM Nimi using the word 16 times, followed by TM Taye. Thank you very much, Toastmaster, and thank you over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, TM Damilare Ogunaike, for that report. Without wasting much time, I'm calling on the listening evaluator, Tim Harrison Izio, to kindly give us his evaluation report. TM Harrison. Tim Harrison, please, can you unmute your mic?
Okay, thank you very much, the General Evaluator, my amiable Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. It has been a very, very mind-blowing section, and I've learned a lot from listening to the great speakers and even the table topics. So I will go straight to the point. I just have 3 questions because of time to ask the House to test our listening capability and those that really listen to the speeches. My first question is, according to TM Rotimi Omotayo Bensi, he has 2 continents left to visit in his bucket list. Which and which?
Australia and South America.
South America and Australia.
Yeah, you evaluated him.
Wow, that's powerful. Then my second question is, according to TM Adegbindi Babatunde, body language has 3 categories. Which and which? No answer?
Okay, well, gesture is part of it.
I want to try, yeah?
Okay.
Gesture is part of it. The other two, I don't think I.
Guys, we cannot let Harrison win this one.
Facial expression.
Facial expression.
And body language.
Oh, wow. Wonderful. Oh, superb. Then the last question is, Team Joy Shaiyen summarizes a table topic using 3 C attitudes. What are those attitudes?
Consistency.
Consistency, consistent, courageous, and confident.
Wow, that was superb.
Courage, confidence.
Yeah, excellent.
Courage, confidence, and consistency.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. It shows the Toastmasters who have a very good listening ear. Like as I said when I was introducing myself, if you listen, it therefore means you will not put your ear in troubles. So over to the general evaluator, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, Tim Harrison. Thank you. Yes, the next and also the last evaluator is the timekeeper, TM Abubakar. Can we please have the report?
Yes, please. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Lawrence, the general evaluator. For table topics, Toastmaster Shaiyen spoke for 1 minute 54 seconds. Toastmaster Chisom spoke for 2 minutes 2 seconds. Toastmaster Joy spoke for 2 minutes 15 seconds, and Toastmaster EVA spoke for 1 minute 35 seconds. I apologize for not flashing the card while Toastmaster Joy was speaking. I was absolutely engrossed in her speech. Prepared speakers, for Toastmaster Rotimi, we have 5 minutes 3 seconds. Toastmaster Babatunde, 7 minutes 28 seconds. Then for evaluations, Toastmaster Chineze spoke for 3 minutes 5 seconds. Toastmaster Emmanuel spoke for 3 minutes. Then Toastmaster Natasha spoke for 9 minutes. Thank you so much. Back to you, Toastmaster General Evaluator.
Okay, thank you, Tim Abubakar. With your report, do we have any speaker that was disqualified by virtue of not keeping to time?
No, all our speakers were on time.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Please, I want everybody to join me to jam our hands for all our evaluators for a job well done. Thank you. Now I'm going to wrap up the evaluation by dropping these few points concerning the entire meeting. Number one, this has been a very great meeting. We are all in high spirit, despite the weather here in Lagos. Also, the breakout session was fantastic and also innovative. I pray that this kind of breakout session will continue in subsequent meetings. Now, what would I love us to improve on in our subsequent meetings? Number one, Toastmaster is known. When I joined Toastmasters, the first thing I learned, and I learned it from Toastmasters, is keeping to time. If it is 11, it is 11. If it's not 11:01. I learned it and I applied it in my personal life, and it has been wonderful. For today's meeting, we started at 11:03. So we should take note of that. Secondly, our role players should please endeavor to check their devices and ensure that they are in good shape before the meeting commences, so as to ensure a smooth running of the meeting. Finally, I discovered that we sparsely encourage our speakers by not clapping before they came to the lectern during the time they were.
Daddy,
please.
Excuse me. Please, Daddy. Daddy. Daddy.
So Finally, I discovered that we sparsely encourage our speakers by not clapping as at when due. So that's my evaluation for today's meeting. Thank you so much. Over to you, those Madam Muslimos. Thank you.
Thank you very much, TM. TM Lawrence. It's understandable. Please, could you kindly mute your mic? Thank you. Thank you very much. It's really understandable, especially when you don't have to do such meeting around your kids. No problem at all. So we have the result of the poll. The INEC team has arrived. And for the table topic section, and the winner is TM Joy Shaiyen. Yay! Please drum roll. Thank you very much, TM Joy, and well done. I'm not surprised though. For the evaluation, thank you very much. For the evaluation, we have as winner, TM Natasha. A round of applause, please. Well done, TM Natasha.
Thank you.
And of course, the last but not the least is the prepared speech. And of course, you know, as the saying goes, we're all winners. The fact that you've even presented yourself for the competition makes you a winner because it takes a bold step and of course a courageous act. So for the prepared speech, we have as winner our president, TM Rotimi Omotayo Benson. Very well done. To all participants, great job. It's not easy to come up and compete. It takes courage, like I said, and the fact that you've presented yourself is a plus. So we look forward to having more of your good speeches. And of course, we look forward to more fruitful meetings. So I'm handing over the lectern back to TM Gimba.
Yes, thank you. Hand over back to Toastmaster Queen. She will represent Toastmaster Salif.
Oh, okay. The president of Lighthouse Prestige Toastmasters Club, who is being represented by Toastmaster Queen.
Good afternoon. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you had a nice meeting. I enjoyed the meeting, the breakout session, the table topic session, the prepared speeches, evaluations. I'm sure we all learned something and had some fun today. And I hope we have a great day for the rest of the day. Thank you to all the guests for coming. We would like to hear a word about how you felt about the meeting, who invited you, what you do, and what your opinion of the meeting was. Since we're running out of time, we're going to just have 1 minute for each guest to please share. So, any guests in the house that would like to share?
We have quite a number.
Okay.
Okay, TM Gimba.
Yes, Ije, are you still around?
Okay, good.
Yes, I'm still. Okay. So it was very insightful. I learned a lot of things in terms of structure, preparation, confidence, and generally just putting yourself out there. And I'm happy. I really enjoyed the breakout session with Queen and Natasha. It was really great because we're all sort of doing interrelated fields of engagement in the energy and environment sector. And it was really great being here. And I look forward to becoming a full member and being a certified Toastmaster and participating as not just as a participant, but one of the roles in future. Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us, intending Toastmaster Ivie. It was nice meeting you, and thank you for being part of the table topic section. Okay. Do we have another guest? Chibuzo Akubwe. We also have the TFO, and there's Omotola Shotade. Okay, would you like to share?
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Good afternoon. My name is Titi Odushoga. It's actually my second time as a guest. And I enjoyed the first time, and I've also enjoyed the second time. So I think I'm ready to be a Toastmaster, kind of. I enjoyed all the sessions. The set of people I saw the last time, I didn't see them. I was a bit disappointed, but I don't know if there's a shift or something. But it's been interesting to be amongst you all. So I joined Toastmaster Club because, or rather I want to join because I'm a very shy person. And I look forward to coming out of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming again, for coming before and coming back. And we hope that you would join. Toastmaster Joy's story should inspire you of how she was a timid person, and now she's the 3 C's. She's the epitome of the 3 C's. So that's a testimony for you to use. Is there any other guests that would like to speak? Omotola Shotade, James.
Okay. Afternoon again. Once again.
Okay.
I'm not a guest really. I joined this year, but I was looking forward to do an icebreaker. I'm on the parts of presentation, speech presentation, but I've been having excuses. There are so many excuses that have been coming up, here and there because of work. I explained that to mostly Matt, but she has encouraged me. I know with her guidance, I'm going to do, anytime from now, I'm going to do my icebreaker speech. Yeah, so for today, I really enjoyed the session, particularly the breakout session. I learned a lot. I understand that this is the first time that is happening, and I think that should continue. I don't know how true that is. I think that's the first time I'm seeing that activity. So I encourage that to continue. It's going to really help. It will help warm up, bring people to, get their feet wet, especially for the new people. So I look forward to the icebreaker speech, and I would say by and large, I'm really happy to be here. It's just that, of course, like all human beings, you stall on what you do and bring up one or two excuses. Thank you.
Thank you. We're looking forward to your icebreaker speech very soon.
Okay. All right, sure.
Okay, I'm going to ask a Toastmaster that is a guest. He's not a member of this club, but he's also a guest. Toastmaster Babatunde to share his view as well.
Hey, hooray! Finally. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. My name is Toastmaster Babatunde Abugeni Adegbingin. I am a member of Toastmaster, no club. I'm a member of Toastmaster. So I also belong to Lighthouse. I belong to all the Toastmaster clubs you can think of in this world. To share with you is that I was going to Toastmasters Club for 11 solid months before I decided to be a Toastmaster. I went for 11 months, January to November 2011. I was going and going and going. And between December 2012 and January 2012, December 2011 and January 2012, I crossed the Rubicon. And since then, I have never looked back. And I can tell you today when I speak and I look at my first speech, February 2012, I just marvel. I marvel, you know. It's been a great, great improvement for those that knew me then. So to you that are there, that are thinking, oh, Titi said I'm a shy person. Me too, I used to say I'm a shy person. But I'm sure as you're listening to me now, you know that there's no shy around my name, you know. But I can be shy in some cases. But hey, this is the right club for you. Here we make mistakes, not willingly, conveniently, because you're in the midst of family. Then you get corrected, you get the feedback, you embrace it, and you learn from it. And that is where failure is very different from thinking you cannot make it, because fail is the first attempt in learning. When you fail, you are just preparing to learn more. First attempt in learning. Good afternoon, and thank you for this opportunity. It's always a pleasure to speak anywhere, anytime, any day. Over to you, man.
All right. Thank you, Toastmaster Babatunde. Thank you. Universal Toastmaster. Okay. Do we have any other guests that would like to share?
We have an AA Paul.
Right there. Thank you. It's been a wonderful time. From the Toast Mistress of the Day, if I can use the word mistress, the General Evaluator, TM Lawrence, the Toast Mistress of the Day, TM Muslim Nat, then the Timekeeper, TM Abubakar Gimba, and on the presentation from all the prepared speech makers. It has been wonderful. But I must say, I missed a very terrific session in the breakout session. I didn't know how to join that. So I'll prepare myself to enjoy that in the coming meeting. Thanks so much. It's been wonderful.
Okay. Thank you, Master Paul. We look forward to having you join again and to give your icebreaker. I would like to acknowledge our ABLE Area Director, Toastmaster Francis Mukolo, who joined us during the meeting. Toastmaster Natasha from other club, Toastmaster Emmanuel, Toastmaster Babatunde, and of course our runaway, but they're always welcome back members, Toastmaster Chisum, Toastmaster Chineze. Welcome back. Feel free to keep coming back. I'd also like to announce, so we have our change of guard on the 19th of June, and we also have our new members induction on the 5th of June. So please try to attend both ceremonies. And yeah. So all the ceremonies will be virtual for now. Our change of guard on the 19th of June and our new members induction on the 5th of June. And with that,
and also our new members that played roles today.
Oh yes, true. A lot of role players today were new members, and I'd like to please give them a round of applause from our Toastmaster of the Day. This is her first time playing it. The GE, the grammarian, the accountant. This was their first time playing their roles. So please acknowledge them and give them a round of applause.
Thank you.
Any other thing you'd like to add?
Thank you for your support.
I think that's all. That's all. James Noah. Is James Noah ready to speak? I like that name.
All right. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you can hear me right.
Yes.
Can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can.
Sure. All right. I want to be sure you hear me. All right. I'm very excited to be here. I think it has been a wonderful experience so far. I come across Toastmaster on Google. I'm a Google friend, so you're one of those that was searching Toastmaster around because I discovered Toastmaster through a book. So I don't know anything about Toastmaster. So I go through it, Google, I come across it. So I try to register. I have registered since last year in one of the platforms. So I got series of email from Lighthouse. but I've not been able to attend since then. But today I think it's a great opportunity, a great time for me to be here today. I've learned a lot of things. Right, so I'm super excited to be here, and I say probably I am an aspiring public speaker. I actually want to be a public speaker, so that's why I'm looking for a place where I can hone my skill as an aspiring public speaker. Maybe as time goes on, I will learn the tricks and the strategies on how I can become a better speaker or probably a good speaker.
Okay. Thank you, intending Toastmaster James. You're at the right place. Thank you for coming, and please endeavor to come back again. On the chat section, we've shared a link for intending members to join. Please fill the form and so that you can be a part of us. Right. With that being said, I would like to adjourn the meeting to next month, the first Saturday of next month, June 5th at 11 a.m. Saturday next month, June 5th, 11 a.m. Thank you, Toastmasters and guests, and have a great day.